and I'm trying to find the distance between those 2 points. One option for how I'm gonna find that distance is I can really think about dropping in a triangle. So the way that I would find the length of that side is to look at the difference in the 2 y values. So I would have 7 minus 2 on this side. And the way to get the distance on this side is to look at the 2 x values. So I would have 5 minus 1 or 4. So my actual distance, the straight line distance between those two comes directly from Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagorean theorem says that the square of one leg plus the square of my second leg is equal to the square of my hypotenuse. So if I want to get the hypotenuse by itself, I take the square root of both sides. So that distance looks like the square root of 4 squared plus 5 squared. And what this means is that I've walked out 1 in the x direction, 3 units in the y direction, 1, 2, 3, and then up 4 units. Okay, I didn't do so bad on my drawing before. So I'm gonna like draw that back to the y-axis. That was a 3, that was a 1, and I'm gonna go up 4 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I were to draw this, I'm gonna draw in a whole box here. So I'm gonna give myself this box. So that up there is 4. And I want to figure out the distance from the origin to this corner of the box, because that corner corresponds to my point 1, 3, 4. So I'm trying to find the distance from there to there. So the geometry is a little wonky here, but that's kind of the straight line distance I am looking for. And I'm gonna find that distance by building myself a new right triangle. That's the hypotenuse of a right triangle that looks like that. So it's kind of angled out of the board. But that's the hypotenuse of this right triangle, which means one of my sides, if I like pull this kind of off to the side here, this triangle, that's the hypotenuse I'm looking for. This side is 4 because it corresponds to that. And this side I'm just going to call B. So that hypotenuse would look like the square root of B squared plus 4 squared. But now I've got to go figure out what that B is. So my B side is the hypotenuse of this right triangle, where if I pull that out, that side was 1, that side was 3, and that was B. So I know that my B is equal to the square root of 1 squared plus 3 squared. So if I stick those in together and I plug that into this one, then I get that that overall hypotenuse I was looking for is, I would have like the square root of 1 squared plus 3 squared in there. Squared plus the 4 squared. So it ends up just being each of those sides squared. Does that help a little bit for where that formula is coming from?